Hi, welcome to the first tutorial with the Techie Teacher. Today I'm going to show you how to create a survey or quiz in Google Forms. I'm actually using this tomorrow in my class. My students are turning in their final research papers tomorrow, and part of their research paper project they had to create a visual and do a presentation on it. And so I want the students who are watching the presentation to critique the presenter. So I'm going to create a form on Google Drive in order for them to submit their survey, and I don't have to go to the office and copy or print any papers. So first you need to log into a Gmail account. I'm already logged in to my Gmail account, and in order to get to Google Drive, all you have to do is click on the Drive button up on top, and it'll take you to a screen that looks like this. Once you are in your Google Drive, you're going to go over to the red Create button. When you click on that, you'll see it gives you a lot of different options. I'm going to do other tutorials on how to use these, but for today we're going to scroll down to the one that says Form. You want to click on that, and it's going to give you options for a background. Because I'm using this with students and it's part of a grade, I want something pretty formal. So I'm going to click this header gray, and you can go back and change this later if you want. And this is what my students will see is going to be that gray background. I'm going to title my form Presentation Critique. And I'm going to put some directions for my students here. After watching your classmate present, please evaluate how he or she did by completing the following survey. So the very first thing that I need to have on this form is the name of the student who's completing it. And you'll see here the default is multiple choice, but there are a lot of different options that you can choose. For their name, I just want it to be text. And they're going to just type their name in. It's a short answer. It's going to be a required question as well. And then I click Done. The next question that I want on here is the name of the presenter. And it's going to be a text as well and a required question. Done. The next question, I'm going to hit Add Item again. I want to know, did the presenter convince you to adopt the visual? For this particular assignment, the students had to pick a company or a nonprofit organization and create a visual, and they're pretending that their classmates are this company or this nonprofit, and they're trying to convince them to use the visual. So it's very important about whether or not the classmate was convinced or not. For this type of question, I'm going to go back to multiple choice because it's either a yes or no. And this is definitely a required question for my survey. In addition to knowing if they were convincing, I want to have the students give some positive feedback and some areas where the students need to improve. So I'm going to create a question here and ask, what were some of the presenter's strengths? And I want this to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to give paragraph text, and this will mean that there will be a bigger block that comes up during the survey for my students. But this is also going to be a required question. And then on the flip side, in what areas does the presenter need to improve? And again, I want it to be that paragraph text, so it's a little bit longer answer. And my last required question, I'm going to have them rate each other. Rate this presentation on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. So again, this is going to go back to multiple choice, and for my options, I'm just going to have the numbers. Again, this is going to be a required question for my students. And then I'm going to have one optional question. Is there any other feedback you would like to give the presenter? Make that a paragraph text again, not required. If it's the required button's clicked, it means they cannot complete the survey or quiz without answering that question. And then I want to send form. And then you're gonna have this screen pop up. What's important is this link. If you hit Control A and then Control C, that'll copy that link. All you have to do is give your students that link and they'll be able to get to your quiz. I'm going to click Done. And then as a teacher, you need to figure out where do you want those answers to go. So mine automatically comes up with the same name as my presentation, Presentation Critique Responses. So I'm going to click Create. And so in my Google Drive, I'm going to have a spreadsheet as well. So this is what the form will look like to the students. And then if I go back to my Google Drive, you'll see that I have a spreadsheet created as well that automatically got created. It'll have a timestamp and it'll have all of the answers. Now, for this particular assignment, I want my students to have access to the link that I created. And so for me, I have access to Blackboard. So I went into Blackboard and went to web links and added Presentation Critique as a web link. So all my students have to do tomorrow during class and for the rest of the week as they're listening to these presentations is go into their Blackboard, click on Presentation Critique, and it'll bring up that survey. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to do future videos to show you exactly how you can do this with a quiz. What I like about being able to do this with a quiz is it's an easy way to add differentiation in, because if you have a class or a student who needs to have multiple choice, you can easily tweak the quiz and you can give one version that's short answer to the majority of your students and one version that's multiple choice to your students who need that differentiation. But I really like that I'm going to have all this information tomorrow and I won't have to go into the office and make any photocopies. So I hope this was helpful, and please come back to thetechieteacher.com for future videos. Thank you.